Grana Wheat Nitty Bong, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today on my channel we're taking a little bit of a toe dip into the world of Mech Fans Toys to check out their version of Overlord called Overlord D&B. Drum and bass. Let's kick off as we always do with the box, and the box on Overlord D&B is actually pretty dope. I really like this this version of Overlord here, sitting on his throne, looking pretty good. This is Mech Fans Toys, even though it says NB01 Overlord D&B, some writing there, and then Overlord D&B on the back. On the back we have some more really nice artwork, and then showing him in his robot mode, his base mode, his tank, and also the ship mode as well. Inside we do get a little pouch as well with some destructions. Destructions for this dude are pretty easy, pretty simple to follow, but he is king of the parts formers. Now time for the main event himself, and let's start off with, not only is it the worst part of this whole figure, but quite possibly the worst base mode ever. I mean, I hate base modes anyway. Anyone who watches this channel know that I display absolutely nil of my Transformers in a base mode format. I hate base modes. I don't care if they interlink. I don't care. They are awful, and this is the worst of the worst. Now, I would usually start to pick things up here and show you the different bits, but if I do that, you'll see it's just a parts former. So yeah, how to deal with this? I guess I picked this bit up and we can see here that it's, yeah, you know, it's quite well detailed. It's got quite a nice ramp here. It's got the classic kind of Overlord ship bit at the top here that does flop down fairly regularly, and then it's got his classic kind of arms up in the air jobby. We get two of these that are quite nice, detailed again, and all they do is, using these two tabs, they just clip on the sides there, so we can see how they go on. And then these bits, it says in these two bits are supposed to be like the front bits there. This is ugly as all hell, the fact that this has to stick off the side here because it's got this big ass tab here on the side, and then they just kind of sit there like that. Pretty damn ugly. For me, I actually prefer to, you've got two little tabs there, and I actually prefer to stick that in there and then tab these two in, so at least it looks like it's part of the base. Like, oh no, almost. You can see how fit. I mean, the thing is just absolutely fiddly. There we go. And then we'll move this one into position as well. And there we go. Oh, it's just doesn't tab in anywhere. And then it's all just a balancing act. There we go. So at least they look like they're actually part of the base rather than, yes. Time for a quick comparison in this mode then. You can see here is the Titan's Return Overlord with his base mode. So you can see this is obviously much smaller than this one. Remove that, and then we can bring out Mech Fans Toys version of Astro Train, Mech Fans Toys version of Optimus Prime as a robot crocodile, And then finally their take on tracks, aka flywheels. So we can see, even though he's a base mode, no, this car's not really going to fit on that. So the version of Optimus Prime that I showed before does come with a little headmaster, and if I bring him out, we can see that he again doesn't even scale that well with it, but he looks okay here, but he has the loosest hips in the world. He'll just about stand on it, so you can see how he looks with their take on headmasters. Transformation time on this parts forming mess, and of course he's going to transform into two sections. So he's going to transform into a plane and a tank. So the first thing we're going to do is take away all of these. So all of these just pop off, because these are part of the parts forming mess. Then we'll do the tank first, because I believe the tank is the easiest one to do right now. So very easy to do the tank. First thing we do is we take this section off and we take this section off, and as we're doing this, other bits may fall off, as you can see. We'll just need to tab those back in. Then straighten off this section and straighten off this section and fold out this section. So you can see there's half of the tank done already, and then the other half of the tank gets done like that. Now the most complicated part of the entire transformation for the tank is that you make sure that you get the gun here out of the box. Nice purple gun, and stick it here. Once you've stuck that there, get the other section, parts form the two together, just tab everything in, and then all these other little bits, these have got tabs inside, tab it, cool it, and then put it on the other side, and away we go with this one. Just on the side here. It is a little irritating because this is fairly loose, so sometimes when you're trying to get it in, it wants to move. But here's the tank, and you know what? Yeah, it's not a bad looking tank for the tank that it is. With the tank fully done, we now turn our attention to the jet, and for this we need to fold in this and fold in this. We place this section down there, so you can see that the jet is starting to form already. So once you've sorted out all of these bits, all you've got left is to sort out this bit and sort out this bit. So first thing you do is fold this section forward and fold this section forward, followed by this section and this section, and reapply the top. Then you have a little tab just inside there, and this tab will fit on, and that tab, and that tab, and there we go. We have our D&B glider. Usually, because this has a jet mode, I would stick this on a stand, but unfortunately I can't stick it on a stand because there's just nowhere for a stand to go on this. So we'll start off by looking at the tank. The tank itself is alright, you know, for this, at this price point. It has a fairly detailed cannon, probably a lot better detailed than it deserves to be. The tracks are as the tracks are, they're just silver. There's no wheels to speak of. The turret does not turret and turn, but it does go up and it does go down, which something with Hasbro models, you get the 360 turret but you don't get this moving usually. So swings and roundabouts, I guess. These also come off if you want to have a smoother look on that. These back is a little bit of a mess because these are obviously the Tootsies when he turns into his bot mode, but overall, yeah, it's a solid tank. It doesn't have, it's a shame it doesn't have any wheels. That would be okay, but yeah, it's a solid enough looking Overlord tank. Yeah, why not? The jet mode is a kind of a stocky, squared off jet mode, but you know what? I like it. I think it's a nice enough looking jet mode. It's got some really nice features on it as well, some quite nice molded detail for something that is actually this small. Obviously some really nice areas where you could put your Decepticon logos as well. The underneath is, hey look, it's Overlord. It also has some landing gear here that you can just, well, so that you do get some landing gear here, so he will land on his landing gear, but I don't mind it. I don't mind this little miniature jet. It's a shame it doesn't have a port for any stands, but overall, really nice. Black plastic, silver paint, yellow paint, little bit, I don't know, it looks a little bit messy, but it is what it is. And then the silver here, so yeah, underneath horrible, top not bad. Time for the comparison, and first off we'll start off with Astro Train. So Astro Train, Mech Fans Toys, Astro Train here is, yeah, he's fairly similar size actually to the jet mode here for this one. So that's a really good size comparison here as well. I think they go quite well together from a size comparison point of view. And next up we bring out Trax, so Mech Fans Toys' latest figure of Trax. I think, you know what, they look alright together, why not? I mean, he's the size of a tank now. Pretty cool. And then also we have Optimus Prime as a crocodile whose tail comes off far too easily. We can see he doesn't really scale with these guys. He's much bigger than these. Quick comparison then with the Titans Return version of Overlord, and we can see that it's a lot smaller, obviously, than the Titans Return one. But this one, you get no swivel, and you get no up and down. But on this one, you get some up and down, but no wheels. So, oh, you got 2 wheels, 3 wheels on this one. So you get wheels but no articulation. Articulation but no wheels, and slightly smaller. And then for a jet mode comparison, we have the Titans Returns one here, which is obviously miles bigger. You do get some landing gear with this one as well, the same way that you do with this one. So you do get landing gear on both, but the wings look a little bit stunted on this one, and the wings are bigger on this one. So again, this is bigger. This overall, I prefer the look of this one. It's a lot sleeker, but I wish it did have the wings like this one. Some slightly bigger wings would have been nice, right? Transformation time on this one then, and again, this is parts forming to the extreme. So separate these and remove the gun that clips in extremely well. Place the gun to one side, take this section off, and take this section off, close down the leg, and then bring this foot out. So we'll need to rotate this foot. There we go. So we rotate the foot like that, and then we have basically the leg formed here and there. So we'll put that out to one side and do exactly the same on this side. Rotate this foot out, and then we have the leg formed for the other side. The section here, we'll just remove this and then fold down these pieces here, and we can see now that we already have these arms. We'll move the hands out. Nicely hidden hands there. For a figure of this quality, it's pretty good. And then all you can see, so think about your weaponizers here. It's pretty much the same deal, right? So we just plug in and we just plug in. Once you have everything just plugged in, it's just a matter of sorting the look out then. So you fold down this section, fold down this section, fold down this section, fold down this section, and we start to get a look here of Overlord. And then here and here, you have to bring out those two sections that we had before from the legs that were forming the front part of the awful base mode to form his arms here. And then we have, so here we have Overlord in his fully transformed mode, and you know what, he ain't bad. In this mode, I don't mind him. I honestly don't. You could get a little bit more articulation here, so you can do what you want with these pieces as well to get a little bit more articulation. You can move things around. His head sculpt is actually not too bad. He has some nice red eyes, as Overlord should, and kind of a grinning, smiling head there as well. So not too bad. Chest piece has some nice silver, some nice blue to it, and some molded pieces as well. As we go down, we get nice molded detail, that nice turquoise that kind of runs through it as well. Purple for the feet, and the arms are not too bad as well. The back is actually really smooth, but you do just get all this crap here, so there's no painting going on here, and it's all a bit at the back, but it is very flat, no backpack or anything. So overall, not a bad looking figure. Articulation wise, you get a full 360 here, you'll get some added movement on the arm there, you'll get a full 360 on the arm there, and you'll get some nice bend at the arm. The hands do not twist, unfortunately, and the body here doesn't. It has some hip swivel, but you know, you've got this whole backpack here going on, so you're not going to get much, but you will get a little. Then you get some nice forward and some little bit of back, but not too much again because of this backpack. It'll go all the way out. You get some bend at the knee, and you also get some toe articulation as well. So all in all, not too bad. Can he ninja kick? Maybe, because he has got some big ass feet. Oh, but they are quite thin at the same time, so you might be able to position the foot to allow it to happen. I think he's a little bit too heavy on his little feet. No, he will ninja kick. So but dude comes with loads of accessories, and one of those first accessories being a different heed. So his different heed here is an even more smiling Overlord, and to fix this you just go pop and then pop. So he's not quite a headmaster. He doesn't come with any of his god masters or anything, unfortunately. He just comes with an interchangeable head, but that's still quite nice. And he comes with two swords. So he has two swords here that are painted and have a lot more detailing on than you'd actually expect from a figure at this price point. So you can slot him into his hands here, and he can be the double sworded Overlord. So this double sword Overlord looks pretty dope with his double sword action. Removing the swords, we can then take a look at some of his other accessories here, moving them to one side. He also comes with his gun. The gun itself has a little flip out section here so that he can hold it in his hand, so that's rather nice as well. He looks pretty cool with that. And then also obviously we have his shuttle sword, or the shield, sorry, that he can use from the front of the jet. So we can just remove this section on the arm, again parts forming all over the show, and then this section should just fit in like that to give him his shield. So we can have a sword and shield, a gun and shield, but the shield doesn't look too bad. Now time for a comparison, and we can see him next to Trax. So their version of Trax, so he is a lot bigger than their version of Trax. Their take on the alligator version of Prime, he's a little bigger than that as well. So for a Mech Fans Toys, he is pretty damn big. And then also we can bring in Mech Fans Toys Take on Astro Train, and he is bigger than Mech Fans Toys Take on Astro Train as well. Nice. Then finally, next to the Titans Return version of Overlord, we can see he is much smaller than Titans Return version of Overlord. So finally, would I recommend this figure? Whew, this one is a real tough one. He is, for me, really hit and miss. His base mode is atrocious. Probably the worst base mode I've ever seen in my life. But I've got quite a soft spot for the other modes, the tank, the jet, and definitely this bot mode here. Especially when we get in with his double swords and his different heads, I think it's okay. You can pick this dude up quite cheaply on places like AliExpress as well. So for me, yeah, unless you're getting it for the base mode, I think, yeah, he's not a bad figure for the price. If you like what you've seen here, then this is pretty much the extent of what he can do. And why not? He goes well with some of the other Mech Fans Toys figures. Let me know your thoughts on this Overlord down in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit. Peace!